Beloved, I am writing no new commandment to you, but an old commandment that you had from the beginning. Simply love. There's so many ways we could speak about love right now. And when I come back to Cheshire, every time I feel like, what should we share? How should the homily be? I feel like St. Francis, when his father goes and he travels the world as a carpet merchant, and he's out there, he needs to go back to the town and share what are our travels like on the outside world. So I want to share one instance of love. This past summer, I got the chance to do a part of the Camino de Santiago for the first time. 120 miles. We did it in about 8 days, and our group was 25 people. That's a big group. You see many people doing it either by themselves or just another person. 25 people is a lot to orchestrate. So the youngest was 9 years old, 2 10-year-olds, and a 60-year-old. And I'm the chaplain. I'm just trying to weave this in. How do we keep this thing sane and in one piece as you're going on? And so with 25 people, it's hard to all stay in a hotel when it's right before World Youth Day, or it's all to stay in a hostel because there's just not enough space. Many times we have to divide. Sometimes we can get all, but not every time. So some nights, part of the group stays in a hotel. Some nights, part of the group stays in a hostel. In a hotel, you have your own shower, you have your own room, you have your own door, and you have your own tub. It means nothing to you right now, but for us, if you have your own tub, you can do laundry. You can wash your clothes. Well, at the hostel, all you get is your bed and a curtain. Even less than your cubicle. And it's like when you get out of the shower, it's like kind of like even in that time, that shower is kind of mine. But in the hostel, when you're in there, you're in the shower, there's a line waiting outside of you of people you've never seen before. You own nothing in the hostel. And so at the beginning of the day, the organizer, he says, okay, so this group tonight, we're going to stay at the hotel. This group, we're going to stay at the hostel. And as in the beginning of the day, they're having fun. But as they know it's winding down towards the evening where they're going to be divided to, it starts to set on them. Some realizing I'm going to be in a hostel. It's a downer. So one evening we had pretty much half of the group, all the kids, the good chunk of the kids are in the hostel. And the other group in a hotel. When we got to the hostel, they're all down thinking it's going to be very sad and everything, and it is. Usually it is. But our group was so big in that evening that we bought out the entire hostel. They're not that big. These are European ones. So instead of having a room and you share with other strangers, we bought out the entire hostel, and it was like a whole hotel to ourselves. It wasn't as nice and fancy. The beds were like all bent out of shape, and it was simple. But the kids were having so much fun. Like, this is all ours. They came into the room. There was about 6 of them, a couple of high school boys and girls, a couple of little kids. They're all in one room jumping on the beds, having so much fun. Because they had a whole floor to themselves. And then the group from the hotel sends them a video of what the hotel looks like. And it just so happened that night, they were staying in a very beautiful suite. Gorgeous. Big, huge living room. Everybody was staying over there. And I'm walking down the hallway. I'm in the hostel with them, walking down the hallway, seeing them jump up and down on their bed, and then them flipping out their phones and looking at this video from the hotel. They're like, oh my goodness, look at that hotel. And then they finished watching the video. They put their phone down, really bitter. And I hear one saying as I'm walking down the hallway, just wait till they have to stay in the hostel too. They were having so much fun. So much fun. And in one split second, it was stripped from them. What happened? Envy. 1 second of sheer joy, jumping on the beds, having so much fun, and then envy. Wow. And what was their response? Wait till you have to suffer what I suffer. Oh, and then I feel a little bit better. That is terrible. A few moments later, about half an hour later, I came in and I shared my reflection with them. And they realized that's not the way we are to act. How bad it is to fall into that temptation of envy and to want something else and have to drag them into my own misery. That is not love. And how often am I here thinking, I'm suffering and my brother only has to do, he's only working on Excel while I'm cleaning the bathrooms. Envy. Why do I have kitchen work? Why do I have the tougher one? Why do I have to mop the floors? Why do I have to be team captain? Envy. When there's so much joy waiting for me. It's in that comparison. When we want to drag others into our own misery. It's a poison. A poison. So on the flip side, the next day, we're walking, and the whole group, when we're walking 25 people, we're playing music, we're having fun, we're praying together. But then that 9-year-old, he's quickly easy to be distracted. He'll see a stick or a twig, and he just like looks around for a little bit, and he loses. And the moment he looks up, the group is about, 50 feet ahead. And every time he looks down, he looks up, it's only farther ahead. I mean, I'm 6'2", his legs are only like this long, right? So it's really easy for him to fall behind. Behind. And his mom is one of those people that loves being in the group. Absolutely loves it. But eventually she falls behind with him. She stays with him farther and farther and farther. And we're tracking ourselves on GPS, and we see their dot moving farther and farther away. Our fun, happy group here. And her and the mom and the son all the way back here, moving farther and farther back. The whole time she's just accompanying him. And she's sad. She would love to be with a group. But I know that's not why she's sad that day. She wants her son to be in that group. Her heart, like Mary, is pierced for only one reason. She didn't compare, she didn't complain. She yearned for somebody else's joy, peace, happiness. And through that yearning, she felt pain. It's a very different kind of pain than when you're jumping on the bed and then wait till you have to stay in the hostel. And Mary's pain came from the very fact that she was so united with Christ. And that is the answer. How is my heart united with Christ? Meaning, do I feel pain when my brother suffers? Oh, he's so annoying. He never does this. He doesn't know this. There is an answer to this. When I pray for my brother, my brother too wants to be loved, wants to be understood, wants to be accompanied exactly the same way as me. And when you yearn for that, and you see that my brother doesn't have that, you too will feel pain, a piercing in your own heart. And so a question for yourself, do I feel this piercing in my love for my brothers, my family, my neighbors, my friends? Do I feel this piercing, or is it a jealousy? It's a shifting of my heart, choosing the good of the other. Mary, we beg you for the grace to be able to give us the capacity to love another to the point of pain. To look at Christ and know that he came, enslaved himself in a body. Let me love you. Let me suffer with you. Let me have empathy and experience what you experience in love for us. Let me walk with the abandoned, the lonely, the misunderstood, so my heart feels a piercing. It's my invitation for you today on the 29th, after Christmas, the 5th day after Christmas, still in the octave, to live that Christmas spirit. Look for that opportunity to love another in that hidden work to the point where it hurts my own heart, yearning for the good of the other.